This episode of Special Conditions Podcast is brought to you by our Patreon. Everything we do here on the Pokemon Professor Network is powered by our community. You can join our community of supporters on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. All patrons will gain access to our patron-exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. You can support a collective of hardworking, part-time creators that have a passion for Pokemon and podcasting here at the Pokemon Professor Network. What's up, trading card game fans, and welcome to episode 202 of Special Conditions Podcast. This is the podcast where our love for competing and collecting collide. Special Conditions is part of the Pokemon Special Conditions is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is April 19th, 2026. I'm one of your hosts, Justin, and I'm joined by guest host Lane.
Hello. What's going on? My name is Lane. I go by Lane the Main. I am also a host of Good Morning Johto. But I love to come over sometimes to talk a little more TCG, because this is my TCG time. Because if this is your first time hearing me, I also work at a card store. So this is the dirty side of the collecting coin, right? The dealer side. But I love coming on.
Lane tells us about, everyone's, standing in line, waiting for hours. Just being like, hey, Lane,
so
when are you gonna have these products drop?
It's the dirtiest thing when I've seen customers outside waiting for 3 or 4 hours, and I have to go through the back door and I unlock it, and I see, like, where they were longer than the staff, right? Like we're there a half an hour before open, but they've been there 4 hours before waiting on a drop, and I'm like, well, we can just go. And the worst part is if they see the employees go grab one off the shelves for them and buy it, and like. Stuff like that. But yeah, it's a full different part of the coin. Is like you get to see all the different types of traders or trainers, like collecting, you know what I mean, like building decks, all the different stuff.
But yeah, so today we're going to talk about what post rotation looks like. Is Dragapult as mean as it says? A little bit of Orlando, since we haven't recorded since Orlando happened. What is Slop Box? And did you order any Chaos Rising? But first, Lane, we haven't talked to you in a bit. How have things been going? Like, did you go on vacation? Is it all Pokemon all the time? Did you play Pokopia?
Yeah, yes to all. Like, so what we've done, and I think you and I are the main ones of it. We both, like, I became a judge, right? Like a professor. Mm-hmm. And you passed the same thing, right? Like you...
Oh, yeah, and I finished the next steps, and then I haven't done the training courses online. I need to do them.
And that's why for me, like when I do where I'm there already, right? Like I've said this before, I don't get to play in our weekly events because I'm TOing, like tournament organizing the event. So I'm like, you know what? I need to become a judge because I'm already there. I'm already doing the work without getting the Pokemon, like the credit, right?
The staff promos.
Correct. Oh, you best believe I've been snatching those up. So you only get them for pre-releases, and then you get your weekly points. But I'm already there, so like I've already been doing that, getting the weekly points, getting all that. Kind of more running the tournament organizing. Yeah, like still like I'm actually dipped back into Pocket a little bit. I know. Both of our friends of ours, Pure Lighter from Purified, also like some of the Sleep It Off stuff. Luis, I don't know if some people like to put their main name out, whatever. I know he's been a big Pocket guy and he never stopped. But all, you know what I mean? Pokemon Champions, Pokopia, Pokemon Go still. Like I was at the beach during like some of the Wiglet stuff, like running around. But no, just so much stuff.
All Pokemon all the time,
but in different forms.
I know you like to dabble in a few other things like Magic or Lorcana.
All card games I'm a lover of, and I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like last time I was here, One Piece, like Pokemon collectors were moving over to One Piece. That's now dove back down. The bubble burst, like. They made.
I didn't actually know that. I hadn't been paying attention to One Piece.
So they made some really good decisions where it was supposed to be in the rule already, but where there were main stores for One Piece, like like there is 6 stores across the country, 2 that close to us. When the last couple of years we went to New York, I went to one in Brooklyn last year. Like if the Pokemon TCG had their own store, right? Like if TPCI had their store and you go and like they give you cards.
I
for
didn't
MSRP.
know they had that
for One Piece.
Yeah,
I thought I showed you the starter decks last year when I was in New York. Remember, like,
yeah, but that was a like.
That was
One Piece made by is a
Bandai, yeah, but it's just
a Bandai store.
But they call it it's a One Piece trading card store. That is a Bandai. Like, usually that was a Bandai and a One Piece store, but in Jersey, for mine in Cincinnati, it's just One Piece trading card game store. That's it. Sleeves, booster boxes, packs. That's it. And they have.
I don't think I okay, now I do remember you saying this, but I didn't comprehend. I just thought you meant like, you go to a Magic only store where they do we kind of have a couple Pokemon things over here, but really we're Magic all the time, not like an official
brand
thing. This is,
and that's what people like, because you could go to those stores as a collector or a player, and you're getting them from MSRP. Like, what the price you're getting at, there's no markup, there's no everything, and that they get them first. So people like that, but what they've been doing is they've been breaking seals now. They've been pushing on us for our stores. So when I sell any boxes at the store, breaking seals so that like reselling online is gone. There's no booster box reselling. You got to give them almost 36 packs. The boxes on TCG have been selling for $30 for resealers. Have been selling, like, been buying open boxes. But no, One Piece is back out. Pokemon prices have 151 is through the absolute roof right now.
I'm just glad I'm not deciding to do a master set of that.
I was in the middle of it, and I'm going through a collecting problem. Do I now finish it and pay now, like, what would have this been 2 months ago, like a third of the price? Or the half that I do have collected, do I sell that to fuel the other, like, master sets I'm trying to finish?
That's a good point. So I guess you have to look at it, right? Like, what is it currently going to cost you?
Sure.
So, like, maybe you can do some trades or whatever, but, like,
I'm 5 cards away, and it's like $2,000, or like I'm like $1,500.
Oh, what are you missing? Zard,
Blastoise, Venusaur, and then like a couple full arts. But the Charmander is $110.
Oh my!
That's what I'm saying. You haven't looked at these 151 prices. Like,
no, I haven't.
What I got I graded my own Zapdos EX like art last year. What the 10 was last year, what you could buy a PSA 10 for last year, is less than what a raw copy is now. Like an 8-month difference.
Okay, here's what I would say. Now, I think you're close enough that you can kind of see, does like, the bubble come down some for Pokemon?
Sure.
Maybe there's a new hot set. Maybe, there's a big run on Ascended Heroes.
Trade Ascended Heroes for a single, like stuff like that.
Yeah. So, because if you were like 20 cards off, it might make more sense to, just kind of offload it and focus on something else. But you're close enough that I'm really like, I think you should just kind of wait it out.
Sure.
And then if you never get it done, you never get it done. Unless you're really like hurting for the trade capital / money, then maybe you just...
No, I just do it for the binder. My binder aesthetic of missing those cards, because I do a master set for each binder. Like, having that...
Have you considered making proxies for yourself just to make yourself feel better?
Yeah, it's more like those empty slots. Like Celebrations, I did the opposite. I bought the big cards in Celebrations first and then worked down, which is usually what I tell people to do. And those cards have skyrocketed. Oh my gosh, those cards have skyrocketed again. Celebrations has really popped off, and then some of that stuff. So that's still done well. But yeah, 151, because it's do you collect? Like, I know, have you collected any recently of like picking up cards just for collecting?
So I don't do master sets. I decided like there's a few like select things, but like I don't do a traditional master set of like I'm gonna get every card of perfect order, for example.
Sure.
But I have been picking up cards for my Arcanine Master set, which is its own thing, and it's
agreed.
kind of like there's no like official rules for it. It's kind of whatever I want it to be. So like we had Collecticon here a few weeks back, and I picked up a couple Arcanine cards. So like I picked up 2 Shadowless Arcanines, which I never had. I'd only had the regular base set Unlimited, and because I'd never seen the Shadowless in person, and I was like, oh great. And since they were like somewhat, one was heavy played and one was damaged, they were really cheap, like $15 and $5.
Because people want the super like near mint, right? That like so when it really falls off after.
But I had never seen them in person, and then I picked up a Skyridge rare.
That's the one I remember.
That was yeah. So and then also an
Aquapolis. I think it was one of the ones you showed me. Like,
let's see, do I
really at Collecticon? There's anything you want. Like if you got the money, there's anything. You can spend so much time.
Yeah, this guy, the reverse.
Crazy.
Yeah. So if you didn't know they just have like a sheen on them for the reverses from the e-reader era, which they look kind of nice. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's my. Yeah, this is pretty rough, but here's my Shadowless guy.
Man.
Oh, here's the other one.
But it's literally like the oldest you can get, and the rare, like, you know what I mean? Like, for Arcanine, that's the ones people like. Like, that's the...
And then, let's see if I have the other cards right here.
I'm already budgeting for Collecticon of what I want and the different weird things that... And I want to give a really special shout out to Adam, who's not here today, but he called something way before everybody else that we've talked about before, but I want to... That's big on Collecticon now.
Well, so I can't find the Growlithe and Arcanine one, but there was someone there who's doing these extended arts.
Love them.
So I have this Mankey extended art, or Mankey Primate extended art, where it's got like the Mankey family, but they just drew over the entire card, and they have Primate is wearing Ash's hat, because like in the anime when he steals the hat. Yeah, it's like a random the random Sun and Moon set. Like it's a nothing card, but it's a fun art, and they wanted to extend it. And then the Squirtle one, this is the Team Rocket Squirtle from way back in the day. And they extended the art, and there's like coral reef and like little seaweed, and
so cool.
It's got like a hollow pattern on there.
I was just saying that hollow I just saw.
Yeah, it's like a mixture of like the Cosmo hollow plus the like little stars and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty fun. They were $10 each, and I was like, buy 3 get 1 free. And I was like, okay,
sure,
sold. Yeah, the
at Collecticon, have you guys already went in details about Collecticon? I don't want you guys.
We didn't really, because we missed our recording.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Did you see any like what at that Collecticon? What did you see anything crazy? Was there like a theme or something like that you haven't really seen before that you remember? Like anything that stood out? Like, because there's a new trend that Adam called a year ago, and I really want to highlight it.
Oh, are you talking about like the what's the thing that people do? You roll high, low, whatever.
No, it's the Chinese packs.
Oh, I didn't really notice that. I saw a couple, but not really.
Adam
it wasn't big at this one.
It, like before everybody. So this is Chinese 151 that Adam. Did he text you as well like a year ago? Do you remember us talking about this?
Yeah. No, he was talking about it a while ago.
When we bought these, I think Adam and I paid like $40 a piece, and I bought 4 to 5. You know what I mean? I bought a good, I bought 1 a week, and then at the last week, they went up like $10 already. I'm like, well, that's weird. So Adam got me into this because there was 5 cards you can only get in this set for like Chinese, right? For Chinese 151. And now these boxes are like almost $200 or like $170, right? Exactly. And it's from Adam, and you and I hear crazy things from Adam of like, guys, like here's the new hottest thing, and we're like, okay, like
Adam gives very opinionated, and he likes to take his shots. And sometimes, like this, he's dead on.
Yes.
And sometimes he's a little too in the weeds. He's a little too out there. It's a little too specific.
I'm gonna be looking for it at Collecticon. It's these, and I already look for them anyway. It's like how people love like the Rayquaza, the ponchos, like language only promos that we never got. Right? Like there's
an Arcanine, for example.
I was about to say that. Yep. Is it Japanese?
It's Chinese.
That's what I was about to say. I know that's the Chinese one.
Yeah. Let's see. What is this called? It's just called CSV3CS Special Art Rare Arcanine EX. But yeah, it's an art that we never got. That came to their version of that set, which I don't know what that set was called.
But they've been giving Chinese more like promos we never got than Japan. Like Japan, we get like most of them now, but there's still some. But there's now like called these gym pack series that I've been watching a lot of. Yes,
I've only been accustomed to them because I've been watching. Okay, you know Deep Pocket Monster?
Yes, absolutely.
You know his camera guy Ian?
No.
So his camera guy Ian, let me see if I can pull up his YouTube page real quick. I want to give him credit where credit is due because it's pretty good stuff if you've never watched his stuff. He's the Jolteon guy. So if you ever see someone his channel's just called Ian with Ian.
Love it.
Anyways, so he does all this card hunting with Pat Flynn, Deep Pocket Monster, when they go to all these shows and do his crazy challenges and stuff. Well, Ian is also, while he's filming that, he's also filming for himself. So he's looking for all these Jolteon cards. And he's trying to get every Jolteon card ever. And it's like not like what I'm trying to do. He's doing it in every language ever printed. So all 14 languages. Yeah. So like, and as he's going through this journey, he keeps learning about like more cards that he wasn't aware of before, like how there's Portuguese cards. It's like, what? Portuguese? Yep. And then and so there's it's the last video I watched, there was 565 cards he has to get. 565. Wow. And so he's like doing like all these trades and stuff. How did we get on this topic? I don't remember.
It was the Chinese, like the exclusive, like where they get IRs or like what
ARs for them. And so like, so there's a gym pack Jolteon card, and I was like, what is this gym pack stuff? I learned about this gym pack stuff just by watching the video, and I was like, I wonder if there's an Arcanine or Growlithe. No, but it's still cool stuff. I don't need it because I have money I need to spend on my Arcanine cards, but it's cool stuff.
There's like Cubones, there's extra stuff, like there's a Gengar one, like the Gengar pack, but like they're already even trying to fake these packs, and it's ones that most people don't even know of. And I got on it a year ago because when Adam has these things, I'm like, yeah, I'll throw some money at it. Like, it's like the person that's like, hey, let's get into meme coins like 5 years ago, and they're like, no, let's do stock market, and they're like, no, Dogecoin. You're like, come on now, like whatever, and then one in every 5 of them, you're like, holy crap, like oh my gosh, like, so there's so many things. I remember like that one, and now especially because it's 151 as well, so we're 151 so hot. But yeah, like that's what I'm going to be looking for at Collecticon. But like, because you could look for hours, right? The amount of stuff that's there, you can be digging through multiple. Did you see any cards, like big cards? Did you see any like $200,000 like crazy cards? You're like, holy moly, like.
I mean, there was a PSA booth up at the front, and they had all the Poncho Pikachus. And so I was with some of my Star Wars friends who came along. They know Pokemon from back in the day, but they're just there because they love conventions.
Sure.
And so they're like looking at these cards like, oh, those are kind of cute. And I was like, do you know how much those are? They're like, no. It's like, see that one right there? I think that one says 7,000. Yeah, it's
a lot.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's some of the stuff is insane. And like it was you would just see as we were walking around, we would see people like trading slabs, and like they're like, all right, yeah, for that slab it's a 12,000, and so this dude just pulling out hundreds out of his pocket, and you just see money flying everywhere that you just don't normally see, and it's just kind of it feels a little gross, but like I guess if you're kind of doing the trading thing, it's not like I think you gotta like you liquidate some of your stuff and you move into bigger cards. That's just kind of how it works. It's not just like one day they're like, I'm gonna buy a $12,000 card. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's crazy how big this money stuff is.
This summer I plan. There's a couple $1,000 plus cards that I plan on like picking up like already to put in like the Grail. But they're like very specific, very like that I've been keeping an eye on. But no, like the Collecticon, all that. But no, I'm glad to see you added some Arcanines to the binder.
Yes.
Have you played any post-rotation stuff? Have you gotten ready? Like
the only post-rotation I've really played is, and so there's another podcast, PCS podcast. They have this little tournament that they're doing, and they're like, okay, submit. You have a partner, submit 3 deck lists, and then what you do is you and your partner, you battle the other teams week to week. It's a 6-week tournament, and after you use a deck, you can't use it the next week. But everyone knows one of the 3 decks that you have to play, and then as we go along. And so last week I played Okidogi.
Yep.
Have you seen this Okidogi deck?
I've heard about it. One of our locals was talking about it, but I've not got to super see it yet.
Yeah, so so Okidogi, let me pull up the card actually.
And that illustration there is so cool. Or SIR. Is it the EX or is it the just one price?
Single price. Here, I'm going to share my screen.
Perfect.
All right. So, yeah, this is pretty similar list to what I played. And so you got your Okidogi here. And he says, as long as any darkness energy attached, it gets plus 100 HP. And the attacks it uses do 100 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And so for double fighting, it does 70 damage. But since we're using Prism Energy, which is basically a rainbow energy, Prism Energy says, as long as it's attached to a basic Pokemon, this provides every type of energy, but it only provides one at a time. So it fulfills the requirements for the darkness and the fighting, so you're able to be a 230 HP basic Pokemon and hit for 170. So you're kind of two-shotting everything. Sometimes you hit into weakness for some of the colorless stuff, like Kangaskhan, for example. And then you're powering it up with Barbicle, because he says once during your turn, you may use this ability, attach a basic fighting energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Then you can, you have a Monkey Dory in there to fling stuff back. You got the Lunatone engine to draw cards.
Yeah, Lunatone's so rock.
Ursaluna card.
Golly, yeah.
They have this Ursaluna card, which I had never seen.
Yeah, I've not seen this.
Blood Moon Ursaluna, the basic, not the EX one, because this is a basic only deck, no only single prizer deck, has the ability Battle Hardened. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may attach up to 2 basic fighting energy cards from your hand to this Pokemon. So you can basically all of your Pokemon you can power up in one turn, either Barbicle or this Blood Moon Ursaluna's ability, and this has the attack Mad Bite for 100 plus damage. This attack does 30 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So if you hit into a Dragapult, for example, and you're not going to knock it out, you can for sure, if you can't get another Okidogi, you can get this guy to knock it out. Or sometimes, like, if you just, like, jabbing with a Solrock, for example,
that's what I was about to say, yeah.
For 70.
Or Monkey Dory, then, right? Like, moving around to set up, like,
yeah,
the Monkey Dory and stuff. Yeah, like, Fighting Gong's crazy. Like, this seems sweet. This is definitely something I play. I love single price decks.
Yeah, and then you got this Terragon, which is pretty good. Put up to 4 in any combination of fighting Pokemon and fighting energy cards from discard pile into your hand. So that way you can basically, anytime you can scoop up your Okidogi and all the energy you need and go to town. Or the Blood Moon Ursaluna, for that example. You're playing Legacy Energy, which says that you don't give up a prize when this Pokemon is knocked out. So not only is it annoying to knock out Okidogi, but using the legacy energy, so he gives up 0 prizes.
Yeah, but yeah, it really seems like Chip or like taking out with Okidogi as like a 2-shot, and then Blood Moon Ursaluna can just probably close out games, right? Like it's that last thing to move up, like to like set up a boss's orders for them or something. But no, like that looks really cool. I've always been but I've been Dragapult since like VMAX, right? I've loved every Dragapult deck since the last time. But there's really some stuff going around. But I really think fighting. I have a lot of locals that are on, like with Mega Lucario, a lot of people with Blaziken right now, and like there's so many cool stuff. But I still see Festival Lead doing pretty well. I do like my little Festival Leads, little gimmicky decks like that. Like I know Adam's into that stuff too.
It does a little tough against things like Dragapult, because you're just sniping the bench all the time. But let me see here. Let's look at a couple recent events.
Because Orlando was not post rotation, right? That was right before.
Correct. That was pre.
There's some stuff that I like, and then we probably just have another set right around the corner.
Yeah. Okay. So here, I'll share this guy. Okay. Well, what do you know? Festival Lead won this 172-person tournament. Monster Collectibles After Hours number 2. Festival Lead went 7-0. So let's look at that list. So how does this list compare to what you've kind of been playing with Festival Lead? I know it seems like the usual suspects. I don't know. Let's see. Fennel is interesting. Heal 40 damage from each of your Pokemon. I hadn't seen that one used before.
It's probably because your monkey door, like your stuff moving around, like where, because I think even with the Dragapult, Snipe is taking out like most of these in like 1 or 2 hits. So you're smaller to the ground. I'm trying to see what new cards, because I have that pulled up, are in this as well. But I don't know. I think a lot of this is like you said, like your core is all the same now that Psyduck's not $15 because of Ascended Heroes.
And like a dummy, I bought it like at the high point, and then it was immediately reprinted. I'm like, what did I do this
now
for?
The promo's still like kind of up there. Like it's still like, it was close to $10 last time I checked, like a week or 2 ago.
Okay, well I have the promo then.
Just because, but yeah, most
I feel
of
less
this
bad.
Is the same growing energy, giving that extra HP. But I think like single price decks are just something that I like to mess around with, and they're always cheap on the wallet too, right? Like there's nothing like if you run, like I said, like there's always your toolbox with Fezzendipities, Meows's, like there's always different toolbox cards that'll cost you a little bit more, but sometimes single prize decks are just super cheap. But no, something like this is really cool.
And then of course, we got second place in this tournament. Good old Dragapult. It's farming up everything. This is not the chicken one. Does not have the Blaziken in it, which is the one I'm kind of interested in, just because, I don't know, sounds fun.
I've sold a lot of those this week. That was a big, everybody wanted Blaziken.
Yeah, I bought it several weeks ago. I haven't been able to take it to locals yet, but it is on my list to do, just because sometimes I feel bad playing Dragapult, because it's like, I don't like to play the best deck in format, or like, the most, okay, I shouldn't say best. I don't like to play the most popular deck in format. But I love Dragapult as a Pokemon. It's just a cool ghost dragon. It was my favorite from the Sword and Shield games, so it is what it is.
Makes sense. Running that new Meowth.
But everything I've been seeing online, Dragapult EX is just everywhere, and it's just like, it's considered the only S tier deck compared to all the other stuff. Let's see, when is the next regional?
I think it's end of April, like 2 weeks. I only know this because of Champions. I was talking to some VGC people, because I think it'll be like the first time they may attempting to use Champions.
Okay. This is the North America one. So the next one is LA on May 8th to 10th.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But I want to see.
UCS regionals.
I guess what I'm saying is we didn't have one this weekend, right?
We did
nothing
not.
this weekend. Okay.
Prague is regionals and special championships the 25th and the 26th.
Okay. So Prague will be the first time we get to see post-rotation in action in an official tournament because, like, you know, people can speculate all they want about, oh, Dragapult's the only deck worth playing. It's going to be, you know, 25% of the meta. But you don't actually know until people show up to a tournament. Now, we always like to say Europe is a little whack sometimes in their metas. And I think it's just, I think it's part of it is personal flavor, right? That they like to play what they like to play. So it won't directly translate to how a tournament here will go as far as what'll win and what the meta percentages look like. But it will be interesting to see some physical tournaments and not just basing off of online results or Japan results.
And then the U.S. May, you said May 8th through the 10th will be L.A. That'll be Mother's Day weekend as well, by the way. A lot of regional trainers missing Mother's Day weekend.
Happy Mother's Day early for those of you out there.
That'll be, but no, that'll be a big, like, it's always pick up your Pokepads, your Meowth, all your stuff now. But then by that time already, because what is the next set? I know you have it in the show notes. Is Chaos Rising end of or like mid-May into May?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, do you ever order from Pokemon Center?
You and I've talked about this before, but I even like, because I've asked you, like, how do you get, like, with the reminders, setting up, like, following different, like, Twitter or X accounts or Discords, and I always still forget. You know what I mean? I always still forget.
So this is one benefit that I have for my job. I sit at a desk at a computer all day long.
Sure.
And what I've figured out is it just doesn't work on the phone. You're in the queue too long, and your phone, no matter what I try, it always auto refreshes and kicks you to the back of the line. Like, you could just sit there and have it on never turn off, always on, you not touch the phone at all. But like after, let's say 10 minutes, I don't know what the timer is, you can kind of see your screen flicker a little bit, and then you know that it reset itself because you can. There's a way to check what place you are online, or at least there used to be, and you would know that, oh, okay, well, I got kicked to the back of the line. So I don't even try with the phone anymore. It is somehow not blocked at work. Things with like TCG Player and Pokemon Center are not blocked at work, but if I go to like GameStop, for example, that's blocked.
Sure.
Anything that, for some reason, like Pokebeach is blocked, but like none of the official Pokemon stuff. I don't know. It must just be how the websites are set up in regards to, like, normally it gets a gaming flag and that's why it gets filtered out, but for some reason these don't. Anyways, so I can just sit there and I turn it. I have an extension that makes it like a sepia tone, so it's not just obvious that I'm just sitting on this Pokemon Center website just for like an hour at a time. But I know with the ETB drops, which happened last week, they last for sometimes 2 hours. If it's just like a regular restock of, like, there's a new Ascended Heroes 10 or something, that'll be like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was
but these first runs, I don't know if it's just such a huge stock or they
I'll just need you to text me when the ETBs, like.
Okay, I can add you to the list. Yeah. I right now I have Ken and Adam in the list.
Yippee!
I think I might remove Adam from the list because he just gets upset every time because his phone resets.
Oh yeah, but
he's always at work.
Like you said, with my job is the opposite, where we would all be on a computer, all trying to get in the queue. Like the owner, that like me as like me and another manager, like we're all like. We've done that with Magic, like, drops before. Where
and the crazy thing was this past time. So normally, I go in, I get my 2 ETBs, I hit checkout because I want to make sure I get that. and then it like times out, and then like if I wanted to make a secondary purchase,
Sure.
it's just not happening. But this last time, I was able to buy the ETBs and be like, you know what? What if I bought a booster bundle and a booster box too? So after I completed that checkout process, I just went back and I did it again and was able to do it. And so I was able to put in 2 orders. Now I didn't double up because you only allowed the 2 ETBs.
Yeah.
But it worked, and it was also, it showed up in the, if you click trading card game, you click, new products, it showed up there. Whereas in the past you had to have like these secret links that I don't know how these people find it, but they always post on Twitter. Here's the direct link to the page for the ETB. So you have to paste that. I always have to copy that link from Twitter, email it to myself after I'm already in the queue, and then I open a second tab, paste it into that second tab, and then I make sure that it works, and they're both like the same timer, and I didn't like reset myself, and then I close out of the first tab. So just have one tab open, because you only want one tab open. You don't want Pokemon Center to think that you have multiple devices doing it.
And then I have a guy at work that does 10 different devices to 10 different addresses, 10 different, like, there's a guy at work because he's like, I got 20 ETBs. I'm like, how in the world? Because he's a vendor. Like, he's the one, like, that he's going to sell them at a show. You see, the only thing I would want the ETBs, but we haven't sold a booster box at our work since 2024. Like, we haven't been able to, like, we do, like, a couple daily packs. I let, like, some of our, our weekly trainers, like, pre-order stuff, but none of them, like, grab a box here and there. But I was gonna say, I'm like, man, I haven't seen like a full booster box other than like shows. But the normal stuff, like I can get at work, right? Like the bundles and different things. Like I said, the Ascended Heroes bundles don't even come out till like April 24th. So like they're like they just are
soon.
now.
That's
That's what I'm
week.
saying. Like, and this is the last drop. There's EX. There's an EX like box for each of like the mega starters, and then the bundle, and then that's it. For new, like there'll be like restocks and stuff.
Lane, do you know what I'm doing on April 24th?
What are you doing?
It's not Pokemon related, but you would enjoy it.
Is it Star Wars related?
Nope.
Is it sports related?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I'm going to Friday Night SmackDown, baby.
Ooh, right after Mania? WrestleMania's happening right now,
Yes.
so like that's it. Ooh, that'll be
Yes.
so good. The SmackDown after Mania.
Yeah, so I went last year with one of my friends here in town. It was also the first one right after WrestleMania, and so that's
cool.
when John Cena was challenged by Randy Orton to one of those matches, whatever, blah, I can't remember, Summer Slam something, and we got to see John Cena do it, or no, I got to see Randy Orton do an RKO on John Cena, which was fun because they're like
Childlike
legends,
wonder,
and
yeah.
John Cena just retired.
See, that's the stuff I love to
also-
take our wives to, because I know they care nothing and know nothing about it, like to get their
Yeah,
reactions to it.
yeah, and they had this crazy triple threat match. Have you ever watched a TLC?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Sweet.
insane. It was just dudes jumping off of ladders and just all sorts of mayhem. I didn't realize how much I enjoyed that style of match.
Like like the specialty stuff. Like I watched WrestleMania night 1, but that's how much. Because this will be the last thing I'll talk about it. But I heard that pre-show, after show, main show of both 2 days, it's 18 hours of wrestling, and like I remember like when I went to SummerSlam, it was like a while. And like when we go to our Pokemon, like when we go to like Go Fest and all that stuff, we're kind of like not burnt out, but we're like, okay, we just got a lot of Pokemon Go or a lot of this at once, and I'm like taking a break. But I'm like, I have people at WrestleMania, I'm like 18 hours, like holy crap.
I guess the equivalent of like, you or I going to Collecticon, for example, and spending 18 hours there. But the difference is we're walking around looking at different things instead of sitting there and watching the event happen in front of us for that long.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyways, let's take a break, and then when we come back, we'll finish up talking about some Slop Box and the Orlando regional part that only anyone talks about.
Sounds good to me.
All right. We'll be back for after this. All right, and welcome back. I want to take a moment to recognize some of our patrons. And a huge shout out to our gym leaders: Maddie G, Espeon Willow, KJ Demand, Herbert, Brandy, PJTRJT, Fisher JZE, and James, as well as the executive producers on the network. We have Monkey Bread, Kate the Cons, Tish Smith, and Xander. We have our Elite Four patron, Ozark Renee, and our Giovanni producer, Boris Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your patronage.
Yes. Because, they don't have to give us money. It just helps keep the lights on, metaphorically, because who knew, but I didn't know this before getting into it, that doing all this stuff costs so much money.
Who knew?
Yeah, at least if you want to do it at a certain ability. You got like your thumbnail editing software, your recording software, the mics, all the crap.
All the who-dads. What's Slop Box?
Slop Box. So, Slop Box is kind of like the greatest hits, right? Of good attackers and good card pieces that they don't necessarily fit a theme. They don't really go together. It's not like your traditional Dragapult line with the Dust Noir. It's not a Teal Mask with the Arboliva where it's all grass. It does focus on Teal Mask.
Okay.
Getting energies in play as well as card draw. But really it's just kind of a Teal Mask, Kangaskhan, and then you have some other generic attackers in there. So we have this article from our friends at PokeBeach by Isaiah Chevelle. He says, "Stop calling it Slop Box."
So funny.
Yeah, so he goes in here and he talks about, there's a huge issue in how people are building decks right now. In particular, all people are doing for hand disruption is one unfair stamp, and that's just not good enough. It's really unrealistic to only have that single one, because you need like Judge or something. And eventually we're going to get the red card in format that's currently in Japan, where it's an item that you can play with. Your opponent has 3 prizes left, shuffle a hand into deck, and they draw, was it 4 cards or something? But we're still several months off. It's not even our next set. It's the set after. So he's like, well, the exception is, if we're talking about a deck like Raging Bolt EX or Serial Edge EX in the previous format, where it was only a last-ditch effort to get back into the game to have unfair stamp, that was sufficient. But normal decks right now, you need to be having multiple copies of Judge, and it feels bad to play Judge where you both are shuffling and you both draw 4, but sometimes that's just what you need, because there's just so much card draw in the game right now. Whether you're playing Alakazam, Dragapult, whatever, you want to reset them back down, because some of these hands are just obscene.
Yeah.
Have you done any live recently, or?
No, I've seen where I see them on like our locals. Like, you can draw cards like crazy.
Yeah, so like sometimes you just have like a 20 card hand. You're just like, this is ridiculous. This is unwieldy. Like, how do I even look through all these cards?
Like, that's what Iono always did. Like the same. Like, you had to have something. What is Kangaskhan Teal Mask?
Yeah, so in Champions League, the first major event after rotation, one of the most successful archetypes was these big basic decks where they essentially they use Teal Dance to draw cards. They use Crispin to help, fuel the attacks, where Crispin, you draw energy and you attach energy. They have other attackers in there, so it's just kind of like a Four Corners style deck or whatever. So like they were using Mega Absol EX or Cornerstone Mask to attack into certain situations. Or recently, people have been using Lily's Clefairy because of the abundance of Dragapult in format, as well as Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. Have you ever used Wellspring Mask Ogerpon?
No, I think that's the only one I haven't used.
That's the one where it hits for, I want to say it's 100 to the active and 100 to the bench.
Yeah.
Oh, here. Yeah, Torrential Pump, 100 damage. You may shuffle 3 energy, attach this Pokemon into your deck. If you do, it does 120 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So I played it in my Dawn Charizard deck. It was kind of fun, but it was kind of hard to time it properly.
Sure.
I just hadn't played the deck enough, but it did well. But basically, you just got tons of these big basics. You got the Mega Kangaskhan that they can always, pop off drawing cards and hit hard at any particular time. You got the Latios EX to retreat when you need. You got Fez and Meowth, your other basics for, the support that you need. And here's kind of a list that he was talking about. So you got your 3 Teal Mask Ogerpon, 2 Lily's Clefairy, 2 Wellspring Mask, 2 Mega Kangaskhan, 2 Latias EX, 2 Meowth EX, a Fez, and a Psyduck. And then you got your slew of supporters to help you fuel that, really focusing on the Area 0 underdepths. You got 3, so you can just have all of the Pokemon on the bench and just do whatever your heart desires. But the reason they're calling it Slop Box is, you read through this list, there's not really a theme that sticks out other than it's just good Pokemon. You're just trying to make it all work at once.
Yeah. You see this a lot in other games, just good stuff, the deck.
Yeah.
But, there's no synergy between just chucking stuff in.
So that's what Slop Box is. So now that you've learned a bit about it, do you think it's something you would try? Or do you think it's kind of, I don't really want to think that hard. I'd rather have a theme. Or do you just like the single prizers?
I think single prizes are really cool, but there's stuff like this where, when you play this, right, when you don't really have a theme, there's no... I like this only because I don't like type effectiveness. I don't like just sitting down against something and be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose to this, or I'm already down because, you played fire, I played grass, right? So where you play something like this, I can, toolbox a little better. That you can kind of set up some different things. I think that's really cool. But it does look like something like this where I don't know how easy it is to disrupt, right? I think that's one of those that if you get rid of... one of the Ogerpons or whatever. But I don't think we've seen a deck like this in a while. You know what I mean? Where there's no... we're not just drawing cards to pitch to Chimpow, or we're not trying to do, with Dragapult, or, where I gotta play Fighting Gong so I can hit my Solrock Lunatone, package. Mm-hmm. This is just good stuff.
I like how you called it good stuff, the deck. I'm gonna start calling it that. Good stuff, the deck, instead of Slop Box, because...
In other games, that's what they call it. So in Magic, they're so what's your thing? They're it's just the good cards. There's no burn. There's no... It's just, I put good cards in, or pile. So other... It's just, it's the... So this would just be called, SR pile. I just threw SRs in my deck and see what happened.
I played a version of this back in the Astral Radiance format.
Ooh.
4 years ago.
What's that for? Holy crap.
I know. Don't think about it too hard. It was basically focused on Sylveon, VMAX, because for all the different types of Pokemon you had, it did more damage. But then you could at any time you could attack with those other Pokemon I had in the deck, like Lucario VMAX, for example. Man, it's crazy to think about how relevant some of these are today.
That's
but okay. So, Lane, last thing. How much has your timeline been flooded about this Orlando mishap?
The Pokemon Go side way more, which I think because people are like they understand. Like if you don't know too much about it, Ken and Adam talked about it for like 2 weeks. I think it's been a little bit of each show on Lured Up. If you want to hear more about it, but there was like a small TCG mishap that I don't know personally too much about it. What I know about it, I understand the ruling on this one, right? Like this one, I understand more. So like, can you give us the framework of what we know, right? Like before I read anything on these, I always try to watch the footage myself to give myself the framework and not let the author, writer of whoever, like on X or an article I'm reading or a podcast, like I try to go watch it and then go like, what do I think so far? And then like, if I need more information or anything.
So anyways, this player, it was like they were in the third game and they were in turns. And so this was turn number 3, because as you know, they switched back from +1 turns to +3 because +1 was horrendous. And the other player had already finished. They didn't win, right? And it was likely going to end in a tie. The player B, they drew into the cards they needed, and they were so excited that they drew into what they needed. They just kind of they played an Ultra Ball and they kind of slapped an energy down there playing Gardevoir, and they were just like, okay, yeah, and they just like were so excited. They jumped out of their chair. They kind of like threw their headphones on the desk and were just super excited about it. And it was like obvious, like, wait, what? You didn't even like
the technical
finish
stuff.
The actions. Yeah. You still have to finish out the turn here, and so now they did go back and they. Because when he kind of jumped up like that, he kind of knocked some dice around, and so they had to rebuild the set, the state of play, and they had to, it took a while, and they did it, and they finished it out. He won, like he said that he did, and then there's a controversy about, literally he said, she said, did she ask for a ruling on unsportsmanlike conduct, or did play Pokemon do it themselves? Who really knows?
Who did what?
And so this, so this was like one of the last rounds of asymmetrical cut. It was like round 13 or something, and so they go back and they review it, and they're like, actually, unsportsmanlike conduct, player B that we all saw win the match has actually lost, and player A has now won. Man, I can't believe
I think the dice knocking over is what Adam and Ken talk more about. It was like because they had to reset the game board, right? Like the dice being hit from the headphones. To me, and it's something I said before, like recording, it was like, it's like to me, and I was trying to think of a sports term for it. It's like, if I'm like first down and I'm inches away from a touchdown and being like, all right, cool, we've won, we can all go home. Like, no, you still got to do the thing, right? Like, even though you're right there, you get multiple, like, you all
might make
know.
A grievous error.
Yeah, like, and something may happen, or like, you know what I mean? Like, if something, but revealing, and I will say other games do this as well, of like, hey, reveal the top. But usually when I do it, I tell it to my opponent, like, hey, you and I both know, you just reveal the top card to me. we're done. You show me you have it, whatever, right? Never as the person like, hey, when I reveal this, you lose. Like that's where you got to finish and I get the throwing down, but like maybe do that after you do the sequencing, right? Like yeah, this has much less traction than the Go side, where Go side is still getting picked up by like news and gaming stuff. But this one is
now. What is unclear is, did he receive a okay? It was okay. Oh, I was right the first time. It was Makani Tran and Saris Jones.
Are we from the phone showing the? That's hilarious.
Yes. So he's gonna like. He jumps up, he jumps around, and is a little excited. I don't. Was it? Did it kind of like take you out of it, and it come across as childish? Because like, I mean, I also don't blame, because like, we're sitting down for a, this is the first match of the day, whatever. Okay, that's excessive, but like, these people have been grinding Pokemon for 2 days.
Yeah,
they played 9 matches the day before, and this was, match 5 of the day on that day. So like, and I have this like these crazy headphones with white noise that you gotta wear. It's just I don't fault them. Now I think he should get a slap on the wrist for doing it. I don't think he should have done it in that fashion. He should have, actually made sure it was done. But like, I understand, you're so excited you actually did it. But the other thing was, Makani is a good player. It's not their first time playing.
Sure.
It's not their first time on stream. They should have known, right? But I don't know. Crazy things happen. So what is unclear is, did he receive a match loss, a game loss, or a 2-prize penalty? Because any of those would have resulted in him losing. So it was unclear. We think some instances like this, since these are Masters players, not seniors, not juniors, we would like some sort of clarification. But again, not as, I mean, it's still pretty drastic. Cause like,
well, the game wasn't technically finished like the Go one, right? With Go, match was over, everything was done, then celebration. This was technically match was still going. There was no concession. There was no.
While you and I agree on this,
sure.
I don't think Play Pokemon sees it that way. Until the stream judge says that's game, I think it's still technically on, right?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he finished the thing out and then celebrate, and then that's when the Go stuff happened, right? Like, he won, and then with this was, you're getting up, you're celebrating, which there's still stuff going on. You know what I mean? There's still interaction to do. Like, you're at the 1 yard line, just finish it and then do the thing. But you're right. Like, emotions, everything is still coming over. But this
here, and I'll share my screen real quick. What's crazy about this is like the Pokemon Go one. All sorts of news stations are picking it up.
Yeah.
Like, some random ones you've never heard of, but then like, oh, sorry, this is the wrong page. This one. So like IGN, Kotaku, Mine MMO. I don't know what that is, but like Dot Esports, and I mean, even as recently as 5-6 days ago, there was another article talking about how Pokemon Go player Firestar says he's gonna appeal it. So like, it got the major traction that stuff like this never gets, and especially Pokemon Go PvP, because frankly, outside of the PvP players, no one gives a rat's behind about Pokemon Go PvP.
Yeah,
like the TCG players don't care about it. The VGC players don't care about it. Maybe the fringe PvPers that they do the latter. They play at home. They just like to watch the content, but they're never going to go to a tournament and play. Maybe they care, but it's just like it's definitely third tier compared to the other two.
And VGC the next like 6 months is going to have drastic upward like skyrocket, right? Like with it being able to come to phones, being able to like build your stuff all in game that you don't even have to play the main series games. I said now.
Yeah, have you dabbled in Champions?
Every single day since release. More after. So I did Pokopia. Like I said, like 9 to 5 every day, like when I was on my vacation or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, I have to take a break. I've been following Wolfie and like Cybertron and those guys for 11 years. Like when I started was when Alpha and Omega came out. That's when I really got into VGC because I was broke college student. And now
have you been seeing this streamer girl who's starting to go to regionals? I'm blanking on her name.
I have a few I follow. Like when
she's been recommended. Like no, she's got like 1 million subscribers.
Sure.
And it's not a VGC person, but started getting into VGC. Let's see if I can find her name.
I said it's the one thing in our like Pokemon Professor network. Like, no, we have no one that does like Pokemon Go competitively, like at that level, and then no one like VGC. So when we do stuff like this, like I used to VGC when I was in college, and it's still about the same. Like weather teams, Trick Room, but like Champions is.
Foosley. Do you know Foosley?
I know who she is. I know because I think she's like offline TV. Like, I was a big Disguised Toast guy in my Hearthstone days, and they're all hang out, but with Pokemon.
So you know she's got videos recently about like hanging out with Wolfie, and you know learning and kind of going through it. And like whereas I have no interest in VGC. I find it interesting to watch her and her, you know, good content talk about learning the VGC meta, you know, meeting up with these like long time, well-established players.
If it's on the phone, would you do it? When it comes to mobile, would you dabble?
No, I only have so
almost
much.
It's made for us because of it's fixed a problem I've always had. What do I do with my 1,000+ shinies on Pokemon Go? Like, I don't want to put them on my main series games because I feel like it taints it. I want the ones that I catch in the thing, and I don't want them to like shelve them in home.
Okay, I understand that. Yeah,
for me to never use them. So now I can send them to Champions, and I have a full shiny team. Like I don't need any. Like I think it's the VGC, and now you don't have to buy the main series games. Like you don't need to buy a Switch 2 for Winds and Waves. Like you need, because think of this too. Let's say you don't buy Winds and Waves, and there's a bunch of new Pokemon that you don't have that you need for VGC. For us having thousands of shinies, you can trade them within home. I've been doing this with Arceus, Legends Arceus ones I don't have. So I'm like, I have 15 Charmanders. That's 15 Pokemon I need that for a game I didn't buy. Just by playing Community Day or playing these things locally. So that's why I think for us, and I've talked about this in the Pokemon Professor stuff, but Ken agrees, like when it comes to mobile, I think that'll be their more launching pad than now, because it's just still the same Switch people now.
Yeah, that is interesting. I just, well, one, I can only get into like one sort of competitive game at a time.
Sure.
It's just how I function. And two, 2 versus 2 is more interesting, but I still just don't enjoy turn-based combat in a video game.
To me, though, TCG is like a turn-based combat. Like
it is, right?
Yeah.
But like,
because we don't play a game with instants, we don't play a game,
But it's also a card game and not a, because I don't enjoy playing TCG live. I do it.
I was about to say that. Yep.
I do it because I need to get practice somehow, right? There's only so much time I can spend going to locals. Well, that's what Ken and Adam said, is like that's why live you may see. So Magic did this during COVID times. All their Pro Tours and Worlds had to be switched to digital. Mm-hmm. So like they still had something. So like if Pokemon PTCI didn't want to do it during COVID, it's like, okay, now we're using live and we're doing all that stuff digital. Yeah.
And there was a time.
I guess for
it.
me, if VGC was more like, what's the game that phased out? Pokken Tournament. If it was more like Pokken Tournament, I'd be more interested.
We're fist fighting like ZA combat, like the ZA combat, was cool.
Or even like that, even the ZA combat or Super Smash Bros. Style. There's something about turn-based combat I just don't enjoy in a video game.
I will never be good at VGC. I'm not good at Go competitive, but I try. But VGC is so. There'll be times when I play when I play live, and I'm like, man, I'm burnt out on the meta. Or I'm waiting. Like, let's say I'm waiting on rotation, and let's say Magic, and I have no game right now. I'm like, okay, what do I play? Champions, I can find a new team. There's a different thing, and I hope they add small, like we do with Pokemon Go, of like this week's all fairy teams, like limited metas. I think would be cool. But I don't know. I like to see like because TCG and VGC and regionals are getting like skyrocketed, right? We're seeing still killer numbers for TCG, for Pokemon Go, and especially with stuff like this. It's you and I know these people. It's the same 100 people almost every single time. Like,
yeah,
it's the same 100 guys. It's the same 100. Like, there was the one last year that won like 7 regionals or whatever, right? Or like 6 regionals. Like, they're running all the belts, but having a jumping on point, having different things. That's what I like. I like a game changing the way, right? Like VGC's been the same way with like using the new game, using that for regionals forever, and then now giving their own VGC their own standalone thing. So you can experiment with combat like ZA and stuff differently without messing with Worlds combat. Very different. We'll talk about that in the future. I think that's fun.
All right, well, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, or whatever those other
I was about to say, I only know the top 2. Those are the only 2 I know.
Those are like what the most people use, but like, on the back end of Megaphone, I can see,
all the different ones.
All the different ones, and I'm like, what even is that? But there's always something out there for everyone. Also, if you enjoyed it, share this with a friend. Say what you like. Maybe just like that we're just 2 goofballs that just kind of go with the flow. We're just here to have a good time.
Easy breezy.
We're not super competitive. We're not super collectors. We're just super people.
Love it.
And you can find Lane at Good Morning Johto, wherever you find the Johtos. Oh, and also your other podcast.
Oh, you know what? It's been so like newish that I forgot. Got 'em watching them all. We resurrected, which they've been doing that. Gosh, I bet Ken's been doing this like 7 years. But we've been covering. We're now in Johto, which was another reason Ken I love covering. But we watch an episode of the original anime each week. I was wondering. I'm like, will I be 90 years old when we're caught up to what we are now? Like in Journeys or whatever.
I think the play is, if you guys get through Johto, skip to current.
My thing is but then I didn't watch the others. So if you don't know this, when it comes out with Sun and Moon, which I liked, they hired actual anime. Exactly. They hired actual anime writers. They hired actual people. That's what I would like. Let's skip to then, because then they go, like, they do callbacks from 5 years ago. They do callbacks, like, they're doing wild stuff. They actually hired a great team during that time. But yeah, we're in Johto. Man, this is not a joke. I think we're 15 weeks. We still haven't got another gym badge. Like, we're gym badge 1. We're 15 weeks, and we have not went to the second town. We're not even there yet. But yeah, check out Gotta Watch Mall.
Goodness.
Every single week we stream the audio, and then in the Patreon, just because of YouTube, like we couldn't get out, we kept getting flagged. You can watch us react to that live through the page, or not live, but the VOD on Patreon.
Yes, very cool. You can email us, specialconditions@pokemonprofessor.com. You can send us a text at 732-835-8639. Make sure to check out Pokemon Professor Network for the other shows on the network. And if that's it, I think that's a show.
That's a show.
So remember, if you're affected by a special condition, don't forget to use a full heal. Good night.